Continuing our in-depth coverage on the tensions with North Korea, as we first told you on Eyewitness News Live at 5, the U.S. and South Korea launched missiles into the sky today as part of a military exercise in response to North Korea's missile tests yesterday. Now at 5:30, South Korea's president says the world should look at the tougher sanctions against North Korea and insists the problem needs to be solved peacefully. This comes after North Korea vowed to never give up its missiles or nuclear weapons and to keep sending Washington more, quote, gift packages of weapons tests. Eyewitness News analyst Lieutenant General Reginald Centracchio joins us now in studio. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is saying global action is required to stop a global threat. What type of action, General, is he alluding to here? I
think what he's looking to is a United Nations sanction, meaningful, whatever it takes to make sure they get the attention of North Korea to stop it from developing its nuclear program.
So what's a meaningful sanction? Because we've seen sanctions on other countries and they rarely work.
The key to it is if Russia and China participate in those resolutions, it might be meaningful. Otherwise, it has no meaning whatsoever.
Russia and China not all on the same page. They're urging the United States to not launch any type of missiles. We'll talk about that in a second. Why?
I think what it does is it gives them an ability to speak with North Korea to say, look, if you do this, we can cause this to happen. And I think it's a trade-off, is exactly what North Korea is looking for. Stand down from exercises, stand down from other things that give them license to go ahead and develop a more strategic capability for missiles.
As we mentioned, that the United States launched missiles into the East Sea. Is that kind of flexing your muscles to show North Korea what could happen?
It's showing a force that is to be reckoned with. I think North Korea recognizes that, but at the same time, North Korea is looking at as, once again, an opportunity to develop it and use that as a reason it needs to develop a force for defense purposes.
All right, we know that North Korea can launch a missile that could hit Alaska. What do we need to do at that point?
Once again, it's a matter of whether Russia and China step in to have them curtail that program. If they don't participate, they will continue to develop missiles that will eventually hit any part of the United States, which is a scary escalation. So
the president said he would go it alone if he had to. He made that comment a few days ago. What would happen if he did that?
If he did that, we're looking at undoubtedly an unleashing of nuclear weapons, because North Korea looks at its only defense as nuclear. At the same time, I think we can look at the possibility of taking out South Korea as well as Japan by North Korea.
All right, General, as always, thank you for your thoughts.